Good evening and welcome to our January 5th, 2016 Ogden City Special Redevelopment Agency meeting. Let the roll call reflect that all board members are present. And we've asked Vice Chair White if she would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I would love to do that. Since Councilmember Nadolski's kids are not here, I will do that. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now, please join us for a moment of silence. Thank you. The first item on our agenda is the approval of minutes. First item is regular meeting on October 13th, 2015. Board Member Garner.
Yes, Chair Heyer, I've read those minutes and found them to be correct.
And then finally, the joint study session on November 10th, 2015. Board Member Stevens.
Yes, Mr. Chair, they're correct, and I make a motion that we adopt the minutes that have been presented here this evening.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Board Member Garner, seconded by Board Member Stevens. We have a motion by Board Member Stevens, seconded by Board Member Garner to approve the minutes. This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? Next, we have a public hearing concerning fiscal year 2016 budget amendment and interagency loan agreement.
Lisa Stout will be making that presentation.
Ms. Stout, welcome.
Board members, it's an honor to be here. The action before you, the resolution before you this evening, is to appropriate funds in the RDA related to loan proceeds. It is a loan that is included in the resolution between the city and the RDA. The funds will be appropriated into the RDA Housing Fund to be used for the purchase and demolition of a couple of different properties within the city. The amount is for $340,000, and with this budget appropriation, there is also a loan agreement. The loan will be paid back at an interest rate of 0.65, which matches the state treasurer investment fund rate of return the city is receiving right now. So we're essentially replacing those funds with interest that they would have earned had they been sitting in the city fund as well. And the due date on that note is July 31st of 2016, so in the next budget cycle. Do you have any questions related to this resolution?
Any questions for Ms. Stout? Thank you. Appreciate
Thank you.
that. This is a public hearing. If there's anyone that wishes to address this petition, now would be the time. And seeing no movement, can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Chair Heyer, I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing.
Second.
I have a motion by Board Member Garner, second by Board Member Blair to close the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, now do we have a motion on the item?
Since there's no further discussion, I'll make a motion that we adopt proposed resolution 2015-24.
Second.
Have a motion by Board Member Garner, seconded by Board Member Blair to adopt Resolution 2015-24. This is a roll call vote.
Board Member Blair?
Aye.
Board Member Garner?
Aye.
Board Member Lopez?
Aye.
Board Member Nadolski?
Aye.
Board Member Stevens?
Aye.
Vice Chair White?
Aye.
Chair Heyer?
Aye. That passes. Next item on our agenda is reports from administration concerning Series 2016 rebranding revenue bonds. And I think we will hear from Laura Lewis. Is that correct?
The infamous Laura Lewis is here to present. She's become an Ogdenite today. She's been here most of the day, so
We're glad she's here.
we'll claim her.
Welcome. Appreciate you being here today.
Get ready.
I've been here long enough today, I know to turn the card over from green to red. That means something to some of you, right?
That's a little bathroom humor. I just learned that lesson.
So see, now, yeah, we're all in it together, right? Chairman Board, it's very nice to be in front of you this evening. And this issue we have discussed in your work session, so I won't belabor it too long. I'm certainly here to answer any questions that you may have. I did have the pleasure of meeting with your new board members briefly, and I'm sure their head's still swimming with terminology related to bonds and whatnot. But the resolution that's in front of you this evening sets forth the parameters under which the bonds can be issued that will refund some outstanding bonds, the Series 2009 bonds and the Series 2011 bonds. Some of those bonds are done on a taxable basis and some are done tax exempt. We have worked very diligently to look deeper, which we can, with our glasses looking backward than we can looking forward, as to the ability to do even more of those bonds on a tax exempt basis, and are going to be able to do that with this issue. The parameters resolution, so this is terminology I don't think we discussed when we met, sets forth the maximum amount of bonds that can be issued. We cannot go a penny over what is here. So we typically try to leave a little bit of wiggle room, if you will. And in this case, I've left more wiggle room than typical because we're, when I was asked to set these parameters, we were still working out what might be able to be done tax exempt and what might be able to be done taxable. And so I wanted all the room I could get, quite frankly. So we're currently expecting that the issuance size will be in the neighborhood of 24 million in total. The parameters resolution has that currently set at 30 million. So again, I have quite a bit of wiggle room. It also sets forth the maximum interest rate at which the bonds can be issued and the maximum term. There will be set forth a pricing committee of designated officials that you can choose. They have to be available for a pricing call. We typically like to have your finance staff available for that call. And as long as we stay within the bands of these parameters, then it will require no further board action. We will just issue the bonds with the approval of those designated officers. And that's my short presentation, because we've discussed it long with that big gigantor spreadsheet a few weeks ago. If you have any further questions, I'd be happy to address them for you. They're in the council meeting as well.
Could you report on the climate that's in the bond market at the present time? Is this an?
Did you watch the market yesterday? Actually, it's been, the stock market, as you probably are well aware, has had a pretty wild start at the first of the year, largely due to, in my humble opinion, overreaction to what happened in the Chinese stock market. The market, sort of way overcorrected and in one day came back a little bit, but it was still a pretty rough start. From an interest rate perspective, the Treasury raised the yields 0.25% in December, which everyone was highly anticipating. And so that had already been built into the market. What that had the effect of doing is raising short-term rates. And the good news is, so far, it hasn't had a huge impact on long-term rates. So we're expecting to be able to issue these bonds at very favorable rates. We're under a very short time frame with this particular issuance because of the very hard deadlines to pay off the existing bondholders and notifications that have been given to them that we will do so. So we anticipate pricing the bonds around, it might be February 3rd or February 4th, but in that time frame. And at that point, interest rates will be set. The expectation that I have, I do not have a, inner ear to Janet Yellen or anything, but my expectation is that they will continue to do slow increases throughout the year. What they have stated is that their aim is to get the short-term rate up 1% by the end of the year, which would require 2 or 3 more increases. I don't expect they'll take any action in January. And again, I have every expectation we'll be able to issue these at very good interest rates. You'll be very pleased with them.
So this is probably the best time to go into the bond market then?
Yes, sir. It's a very good time. And the nice thing about this particular issue is we will set your interest rates, in stone through the maturity of the bonds. You will have the ability to call those and refund them again in about 10 years. We typically get 10-year call flexibility, whereas right now your bond rate has been variable with a swap tied to it. The effective rate on your current bonds is about 5.43, 47 in that neighborhood, taking into account the variable rate, the letter of credit, the swap, and all of those components. It's probably closer to 6%. I expect at the end of the day, the interest rate that we'll get on the tax-exempt portion of these bonds will probably be in the 3.50 range, and on the taxable portion, about 4.25-ish, maybe in that neighborhood. So that's good news, yeah.
Sounds good. Any other questions for Ms. Lewis? All right, thank you. All right. I'd like to accept public input on this item as well. Is there anyone that would like to address the board on this item? Okay, seeing no movement, if there's no discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
I will make a motion that we adopt proposed resolution 2016-1.
We have a motion by Board Member Garner, seconded by Vice Chair White, to adopt Resolution 2016-1. This is a roll call vote.
Board Member Garner.
Aye.
Board Member Lopez.
Aye.
Board Member Nadolski.
Aye.
Board Member Stevens.
Aye.
Board Member Blair.
Aye.
Vice Chair White.
Aye.
Chair Heyer.
Aye, that passes. We'll look forward to getting that thing done. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you very much.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is public comments. This is an opportunity to address the board regarding your concerns or ideas for the Ogden Redevelopment Agency. Please state your name and address clearly for the record and limit your comments to 3 minutes. I know we have some students, we have some scouts. Love to have your wisdom. Looks like they're a little shy. So, any comments from our RDA Executive Director?
I'll just quickly offer Ms. Lewis our gratitude. We appreciate everything that she brings and the help she gives us on some of these. They recognize market timing and opportunities, and I think we've had great representation, so we appreciate everything you bring to the city. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Board members, any comments?
Just welcoming our new board members. We're glad to have you on board. Look forward to working with you.
Thank you very much.
Any other comments? I would like to echo Board Member Garner's welcome to the two of you. It's good to have you with us. We'll get to know each other a little better than we currently do, I'm sure. We'll spend a lot of time together.
Thank you.
Next item on our agenda is consideration of adjourning into a closed executive session. Do I have a motion?
Chair Heyer, I'll make a motion that we adjourn into a closed executive session.
Second.
I have a motion by Board Member Garner, seconded by Board Member Blair to move into a closed executive session. This is a roll call vote.
Board Member Lopez.
Aye.
Board Member Nadolski.
Aye.
Board Member Stevens.
Aye.
Board Member Blair.
Aye.
Board Member Garner.
Aye.
Vice Chair White.
Aye.
Chair Heyer.
Aye. That passes. We will return to the chambers to adjourn from this meeting, and following this meeting, there will be a city council meeting followed by work sessions for both city council and the redevelopment agency. Okay, we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, we're back to reconvene our January 5th, 2016 Ogden City Special Redevelopment Agency meeting. After our closed executive session, we are at item 10. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Board Member Garner, seconded by Board Member Blair to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Just as a reminder, there will be a city council meeting immediately following, followed by work sessions for both city council and RDA.